We'll begin this live update here momentarily. We'll allow a minute or two for people to start joining us here. Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Please, if anyone is out there watching, do let me know if you can hear me okay. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started with this here. This is Jacob Melton, live here with West Michigan weather. And our friends at the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for southeastern portions of Calhoun County and southwestern portions of Jackson County. And this warning goes until 1:45 p.m. this afternoon. And this is primarily for the potential of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So we'll zoom in, get a little bit tighter here, see what locations are in it. If you're in the Homer area there in Calhoun County, you are in the severe thunderstorm warning. Along with the Concord, Pulaski, and Hanover areas over in southwestern Jackson County, you are in a severe thunderstorm warning until 1:45 this afternoon. We'll zoom in a little bit closer and get some smaller communities. So if you're in the Condit area, Clarendon and Bentley's Corners area in southeastern Calhoun County, you are also in the severe thunderstorm warning. And same goes for the Stony Point area there in southwestern Jackson County. You are under a severe thunderstorm warning again until 1:45 p.m. this afternoon. Reading the text from the National Weather Service at 1:11 p.m. 1:11 p.m. this afternoon, A severe thunderstorm was located near Homer or 9 miles southeast of Marshall, moving east there at 25 miles per hour. The primary hazard of this storm is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is radar indicated. Potential impacts from this storm: expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Again, a few locations impacted by this potential severe thunderstorm include the Homer area, Pulaski, Concord, and Hanover. If you are in this warning area, for your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building, preferably away from windows. And again, the primary potential, this potential severe thunderstorm continues to be 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Some small hail is possible as well with this storm. We'll go ahead and switch here from the how hard is it raining mode, and we'll go over to the which way the wind is blowing mode, velocity, and it is showing a little bit of higher wind near the Homer area, southeast of the Condit area. We'll probe this around 45, 50 miles per hour, given that is a few thousand feet up, but that does not mean it's not reaching the ground. Again, this is near the Homer area and tracking off to the east. So for those of you in the Concord, the Pulaski area, and towards Hanover and Stony Point, very gusty winds will be approaching your area over the next several minutes. So again, I need you inside, preferably away from windows on the lowest floor, preferably in an interior room. We are not seeing any signs of anything tornadic with this activity. This is mainly straight line winds going on with this storm here into southeastern Calhoun County into southwestern Jackson counties. Newest scan continues to indicate 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, actually a little bit over 50 miles per hour there. And this is about 5,000 feet up from our radar in Grand Rapids. And you can see here how it's basically all red. That means most of the winds going in the same direction. We do not see any signs of rotation or anything of that nature with this storm. So, again, not really much in the way of tornado potential of this storm, or really not really much in the way of tornado potential with any storms today across our area. This is mainly a damaging wind threat with the potential for some smaller hail. We'll go back to the reflectivity mode here, and we'll go ahead and take a look at some other storms that we have ongoing. Again, most of our storm activity right now is really now south of the I-94 corridor. It's a little bit of thunder, lightning heading into southern Eaton County, but most of our storm activity so far this morning into now the early afternoon hours has been south of the I-96 corridor, and particularly now near and south of the I-94 corridor. There is other storm activity going on down towards the US 12 corridor across portions of Cass, St. Joseph Branch, and Hillsdale counties. None of this activity along the US 12 corridor is severe at this time, but it could be producing some heavier downpours, maybe some gusty winds, in addition to maybe the potential of some small hail and frequent lightning. We do have another, this is outside of our coverage area, but we have been watching another severe thunderstorm warning in southeast lower towards the Monroe area. That is a severe thunderstorm warning, again for 60 mile per hour winds. Now, similar to what we were dealing with just a couple days ago, the primary risk of these storms is what we talk about here is SLIM, that is shear, instability, lift, and moisture. The one limiting factor that is preventing a more robust severe threat, so to speak, is we do have shear is rather limited in our area. But we do have the instability. We do have the lift with what was a cold front is actually a warm front now that is slowly lifting to the north across our area. And that is allowing the warm and humid air to make a return back to the area. In fact, just as a quick side note, you do see this orange-ish shadings for our border counties as Berrien, Cass, St. Joseph Branch, and Hillsdale counties. That is a heat advisory that goes through, let me check, until 8 p.m. this evening, and that is for heat index values up to 102. So the warm and humid air is back in our area, particularly near and south of I-96 at this time, but it does stretch to around the M46 corridor is where, based on observation data I was looking at behind the scenes, that is where the warm front is right now. So south of there, we have warm, humid air, and that is ripe for continued thunderstorm development throughout the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours. It does look like we have a new special weather statement that has just come in, this time from our friends at the National Weather Service in northern Indiana. And this is for Hillsdale County, northern and central portions of Hillsdale County, and this is for the potential, I'll pull the text here, a strong thunderstorm will impact northern portions of Hillsdale County, and this is for wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and pea-size hail. So again, 50 mile per hour wind gusts and pea-size hail possible with this activity now in the northern Hillsdale County. That includes the Jonesville area, in the Hillsdale, over towards North Adams, the Pittsford area, Wheatland area, Somerset, Litchfield, and Allen. So if you are in northern sections of Hillsdale County, I would go into a sturdy building and take cover from these storms as they work their way through. these storms are moving off to the east at around 20 miles per hour. Which that's another thing with these slower storm motions is we will have to watch for the potential of locally heavy rainfall that could result in some potential some localized flooding issues. So again, that is something we have been watching. I did see a report earlier of some flooding back towards the Kalamazoo area earlier of these storms. So again, these storms are once again efficient rainfall producers with the with the slower storm motions and moisture in the air that is providing enough moisture for heavier rainfall. Taking another look at our severe warned storm now, there into southeastern portions of Calhoun and southwestern Jackson counties. Again, our newest scan shows the Homer area. You're in the thick of it right now. So is the Concord area, Pulaski area. Hanover, this will be in your area over the next few minutes. And again, this is very heavy rainfall in addition to the potential for damaging wind gusts, which is the primary reason we have this severe thunderstorm warning. We'll go back over to our wind mode here on radar. And it looks like our strongest winds are now being indicated near the southwest of the Pulaski area. It's showing around 30, 40, 45 mile per hour winds. Well, it has backed off a little bit from earlier, but still potential for strong gusty winds. This storm, this is also a bit higher up. Out of curiosity, I'm going to go over to the northern Indiana radar. It's a little bit higher, but again, similar story. But what it does show you is that you can see this is a focus for some of our gustier winds, as we are seeing a bit of a downburst signature potentially on the northern Indiana radar. I will try to highlight that. So green is towards the radar in northern Indiana, and red is away from the radar. But what happens with this is the rain-cooled air from the storms that have pulsed up. As they begin to pulse back down, that rain-cooled air gets pushed down to the ground. And with the force of it hitting the ground, it can spread out very quickly. And that's how you get your 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts with some of these storms. This is not expected. We'll go back to reflectivity here. We are not expecting a widespread severe weather issue this afternoon and evening. In fact, most of these storms will generally end up under severe limits. They could still produce some gustier winds, maybe some smaller hail, in addition to the heavy rain and lightning threats. But it is a few of these storms that can pulse up from time to time. If they pulse up enough, when they can allow some gustier damaging winds to around 60 miles per hour to hit the surface, and that can cause some wind damage. So that is the main thing we've been watching really the last few days. Yesterday ended up mainly south of us, and then Tuesday we were also dealing with some of that, and that is a similar story we are dealing with today. So again, taking a look at our current severe thunderstorm there in southeastern Calhoun, that will be moving into southwestern Jackson County over the next few minutes, and that is primarily for the potential of 60 mile per hour wind gusts. We are watching some other stronger thunderstorms, currently not severe, across northern and central portions of Hillsdale County. These storms down in Hillsdale County are capable of producing wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and hail up to pea size in diameter. We got a newer radar scan here, and it continues to point towards a similar picture, Again, our heaviest rain, our Hillsdale County storms, it's moving through the Jonesville area now. Hillsdale, it looks like the worst of this is going to pass just to your north. I'm going to see what's coming in here. Okay, that's a day 2 convective outlook. Okay, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But again, strong storms in northern Hillsdale County capable of reducing wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and pea-size hail, in addition to heavier rains and frequent lightning. Let's go back to our Grand Rapids radar and take a look at our severe thunderstorm that will be heading out of southeastern Calhoun County over the next several minutes and be moving primarily there in the southwestern Jackson counties. We'll go ahead and take a look again at our wind mode here on radar. And I will say velocities have backed off a little bit, at least in the warning area. We're still seeing 30 to 40 mile per hour winds. So at least at our radar level at around 5,000 feet, it has been backing off a little bit, but that is also a sign that some stronger winds could be ongoing at the surface as the rain cool air does push down to the surface and spread out. We are showing a little bit of stronger velocities north of the severe thunderstorm warning, northeast of the Albion area, at around 4,500 feet or so, give or take. Around 40 to 45 mile per hour velocities northeast of the Albion area, towards the Amberton Village area, and west of Parma. So that is another area we'll be watching over the next few minutes. See what goes on with that. Let's go back over to reflectivity. There it goes. And again, we are watching just some stronger thunderstorms, now severe thunderstorms, across mainly near and south of the I-94 corridor at this time, in the portions of Calhoun, Jackson, and Hillsdale counties. Southeastern Calhoun and southwestern Jackson counties in this orange outlined area. That is a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for 13 more minutes until 1:45 p.m. this afternoon. We also have special weather statements for southwestern Jackson County until 1:45. This is outside of the severe thunderstorm warning for potential wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. And we also have a special weather statement that goes until 2 o'clock for northern portions of Hillsdale County for the potential wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and small pea-sized hail. And again, we do have other cells ongoing that are currently not severe, like towards the state line area. This is from South Bend, Indiana, up towards the Edwardsburg area, the Constantine area, or the Constantine area. I apologize, I mispronounced that. If anyone is watching, please do. That happens to be an area, please feel free to let me know the correct pronunciation. And towards the White Pigeon area. Some other non-severe thunderstorms at this time that could be producing maybe some gustier winds in addition to heavy rainfall and frequent lightning. So, looks like they have pushed an update to our severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 1:45 p.m. for southeastern Calhoun and southwestern Jackson counties. At 1:32 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located 6 miles east of Homer, or 9 miles south of the Albion area, and that is moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. Our primary threat continues to be 60 mile per hour wind gusts with this storm. Again, we're not seeing any particular signs of hail. That does not mean that small hail might not be ongoing, but our primary risk with this thunderstorm continues to be damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour as it begins to push out of Calhoun County over the next several minutes and into southwestern Jackson County. We'll take another look at our velocity product here just to see if there's any. Again, we're not seeing too strong of velocities in the warning area, around 30 to 40 mile per hour velocities, but we are now watching an area that is beginning to pulse up in western Jackson County, now east of the Albion area, towards the Parma area. We are showing, given this is a few thousand feet up, but winds now approaching the 50 to 58 mile per hour threshold. As it starts to get up there, we will have to see what the National Weather Service does with this. But just be aware in the Parma area over the next few minutes, we are seeing signs of some stronger winds, at least 50 miles per hour, if not higher, heading towards your area over the next few minutes. So we'll go back to reflectivity here. And again, Parma area next few minutes, some signs of stronger winds heading into your area. At least 50 miles per hour, possibly, if not higher. So just be aware of that in the Parma area over the next few minutes. Let me see if we got anything new from our friends at the National Weather Service. Okay, that was just a continuation of the severe thunderstorm warning. And nothing new yet. If anyone in this area, if you do happen to have any storm or damage reports to pass along, please do feel free to pass those along to us. That is, you can do that on social media, or we also have a area on our website to where you can do that. That is www.westmichiganweather.net/report. Again, that is www.westmichiganweather.net/report. That is where you can submit any storm or damage reports that you may have, but please do so safely. And also, feel free to like and share this stream to help get it out to the West Michigan area and help keep West Michigan aware, especially particularly during severe weather, or even on the calmer days we have updates as well. Also, feel free to subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. That is, by subscribing to us, you can also enable notifications so you can get notified when we go live in the future. Going back to radar here, it does look like, at least on the grid. Well, alright, looks like we got a new severe thunderstorm warning coming in now. This is for northern portions of Hillsdale County. This is a storm we've been watching the last few minutes. This is now a severe thunderstorm warning for northern portions of Hillsdale County. Give me just a moment here. I will pull up the warning text behind the scenes here. This is a severe thunderstorm warning now for northern Hillsdale County until 2 o'clock this afternoon. The National Weather Service in northern Indiana has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Hillsdale County and southeastern Michigan. This is, again, until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And this is for the potential of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and also quarter-size hail. So this storm, not in addition to the 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, is also capable of a little bit larger hail up to quarter size. This is radar indicated. And some locations impacted by this severe thunderstorm warning include especially the north side of Hillsdale. You are in the severe thunderstorm warning, the Jonesville area, Jerome, Somerset, Moscow, North Adams, and Somerset Center. Some other areas include the Wheatland area and the East Mosherville area. You are also in the severe thunderstorm warning. Again, for potential winds up to 60 miles per hour and hail potentially up to the quarter size in diameter. We are taking a look here at the northern Indiana radar. I will now go ahead and shift over from the how hard is it raining mode to our wind mode. And we're not seeing any particular signs, at least on this image, of strong gusty winds, of damaging winds, but that does not mean it is not ongoing. We'll take a look from another perspective from the Grand Rapids radar. And maybe a little bit higher velocities there, at least on the Grand Rapids radar. This is looking higher up, but around 45 miles per hour near the Jerome area. But again, what these storms are doing today, these are primarily downburst winds or microbursts that are ongoing. And that is rain-cooled air from these storms being pushed down to the ground rapidly. And as that happens, it spreads out quickly. And that's how you get your 50, 60, sometimes higher wind gusts. Again, our biggest concern today with these storms, it has been damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Oops, let me go ahead and shift that properly. There we go. But also, as you can see, these storms can sometimes pulse up and produce small hail, or to even in some cases hail up to quarter size in diameter or larger. So hence the warning for northeastern Hillsdale County, highlighting potential for quarter size hail. In fact, I do not have a legend for this loaded in yet, But we'll go to the vertically integrated liquid product. And at least on the northern Indiana radar, we are seeing some signs potentially of some of a stronger hail core north of near the North Adams area, heading into the Moscow area over the next few minutes. That is the potential there of some maybe some hail up to quarter size at the very least, heading into the Moscow area over the next few minutes towards the Jerome area, and another little area by the North Adams heading towards the Wheatland area over the next few minutes, and eventually towards the Somerset area. So again, if you are in northeastern portions of Hillsdale County, here's what I need you to do. I need you to get inside in a sturdy structure, preferably in an interior room on the lowest floor away from windows, and stay in that area until these storms pass. As once we get into the 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts, that can start doing damage. More significant damage, like it could take down some trees, take down some power lines and whatnot. So we just want you to be safe from these storms. So take the time now. Not that you want to be outside anyway in these storms, but get inside a sturdy structure, preferably away from windows on the lowest floor, most preferably in an interior room. Again, we're not seeing any signs of tornadic activity with this storm. We'll take another look at velocity real quick. And we're not seeing any tornadic potential really with these storms, as we just don't have the shear really to promote much in the way of the tornado threat. Now, that does not mean the tornado threat is zero, as we could have mesoscale features that could interact from time to time, but we're not seeing any signs of that particularly right now. We'll go back to the reflectivity, and we'll take a look at our other severe thunderstorm warning that continues for southeastern Calhoun and southwestern Jackson County. That is going to expire in the next few minutes, and it does look like the strongest portion of the storm is now pushing into more southern portions of Jackson County. So if you're in that Homer area, the Pulaski, Concord, and Hanover areas, do remain inside for the next little bit due to lightning dangers in the area. But other than that, your severe threat, at least from this particular storm, is beginning to wrap up over the next few minutes. We will see what the National Weather Service does with in Grand Rapids does with Jackson County over the next few minutes. We'll take one more look at velocity. We are still showing signs of potentially some stronger wind near the Parma and Sandstone areas, Spring Arbor. No warnings with this activity yet, but something we are watching over the next few minutes. Primarily 40, maybe 45 mile per hour winds there. Again, this is a few thousand feet up as well, so it may not necessarily be reaching the ground, but something we are watching as well. Taking a look also from this perspective at our severe warned storm in northeastern Hillsdale County, we are also continuing to show 40 to 45 mile per hour velocities, at least at around 7,000 feet up from the Grand Rapids radar. I'll switch over to the northern Indiana radar, and it's not really showing that at the lower, not that much lower, but it's not showing as much there from the northern Indiana radar. But that does not mean that the stronger winds are not reaching the ground. So again, if you are in northeastern sections of Hillsdale County, here's what I need you to be inside, preferably away from windows, in an interior room on the lowest floor until these storms pass. So let's see. I'm going to check to see what the National Weather Service is doing with not seeing anything new on the Jackson County warning, and we do not have anything new in terms of the Hillsdale County warning. Okay, nothing new there. Alright. Radar. I will say on reflectivity, at least from the northern Indiana radar, you do see, it might be hard to see, but we do have a pink pixel beginning to pop up. That is a 60 plus dBz decibels pixels showing up on radar. Once you start getting above 60 dBz, that is generally a sign of hail. Now, this does not necessarily determine size of the hail, but just showing the potential that there could be hail ongoing near the between North Adams and Moscow, heading towards Jerome over the next few minutes. Back over to our other product here, vertical integrated liquid, and that is continuing to show the potential. The scan is a little bit outdated, but it is still showing the potential for hail near the Moscow area towards, new scan just came in, towards the Moscow area, towards Jerome. That is outside of our coverage area, but I will go ahead and give the heads up. In case we have any viewers in northern Lenawee County, this is a new severe thunderstorm warning coming down from the National Weather Service in Detroit. This is for, again, potential 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and this warning goes until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Outside of our coverage area, but do just want to get a little heads up in the event we do have any viewers in northern Wenawee County, as that is relatively close to our coverage area. So, again, hail potential near the Moscow area, another area towards Wheatland, and this continues to move off to the east. We'll go back to reflectivity here. And again, the strongest part of this storm is in the Moscow, Jerome, pushing out of the North Adams area over the next few minutes, heading into the Wheatland and Somerset areas, and then eventually in the northern sections of Wenawee County. It does look like they are allowing the special weather statement and severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson County and Calhoun County. The severe thunderstorm warning has been cleared. We are still seeing some storm activity across southern portions, especially southern portions of Jackson County. And although northern portions as well, you're seeing some rain and lightning. So do remain inside across portions of Jackson County into the Jackson area, just if nothing else because of the lightning potential. But nothing severe at this time across Jackson County. Just some heavier rain, maybe some gustier winds. And in addition to the lightning. Alright. Let's go back. Radar. It does look like we have a cell. And it's trying to flare up here. Near the I-96 corridor in the southwestern Ionia County, near the Clarksville and Saranac area. We do have a cell that is beginning to try to flare up now that we will have to watch over the next little while to see what it does. Again, any storm that does manage to fire today, we will have to watch for the eventual potential of damaging winds as the primary severe threat, but also the potential of at least some small hail, although if they do get strong enough, some large hail up to quarter size will be possible as well. And also locally heavy rainfall that could result in some localized flooding issues. But we'll go back to our only severe thunderstorm warning in the West Michigan weather coverage area. They just put out an update to our severe thunderstorm warning. We'll go see what they have with that. They are continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Hillsdale County until 2 p.m. This continues to be for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour and hail up to quarter size or 1 inch in diameter. Let me try and pull up the new warning text here. Updated warning text. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 2 p.m. for northeastern Hillsdale County. At 1:48 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near the Addison area, or 12 miles to the north of Hudson, and this continues to move off to the east at around 25 miles per hour. Again, hazards remain potential for 60 mile per hour wind gusts and hail up to quarter size in diameter. Locations impacted include the Jerome, Somerset, Moscow, North Adams, and Somerset Center areas, And again, for your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building, preferably away from windows. Again, so if you are in North Adams, you're still within the storm. I will say the worst of it will start to push east over the next few minutes. Same goes for the Moscow area. But if you're in Jerome, Wheatland, and the Somerset areas, and towards Addison, you're getting into the thick of this storm now. You're seeing probably very heavy rainfall, potentially some hail, in addition to very strong, gusty, potentially damaging wind gusts, in addition to frequent lightning as well. We'll take a look at our wind mode real quick just to see if anything has changed on that front. And at least this is looking a little bit higher up. We're not seeing anything that screams damaging winds to us, but again, this is a little bit higher up. That does not mean the stronger winds are not ongoing at the surface. Let me check to see if we do again, this is a little bit lower level scan coming from Southwest Wayne County. This is the Detroit Metro Airport weather radar. This helps provide a lower level radar scan, and this is doing a good job of showing what's really going on at the lower levels. And we are showing winds up to 50 to even 60 miles per hour. That is beginning. The strongest portion is now beginning to push into western Wenawee County. We are still showing some stronger 40 to 50 mile per hour winds near the Wheatland area, south of the Somerset Center area and Somerset, pushing out of the Jerome area now. I will go ahead and go back a few frames here. Pull this forward. And again, our heaviest winds are now beginning to push into western Wenawee County, but scans over the last few minutes did show some at least 40 to 50 mile per hour winds near the Wheatland and Jerome areas. We'll go back a little bit further. And again, at least 40 to 50 mile per hour, if not 60 mile per hour winds. It does look like it really ramped up as it headed into far eastern Hillsdale County, and especially now in the Wenawee County. That is where we're showing strongest portion of the storm, with the potential for 60 mile per hour wind gusts now heading through the Addison area, and that will continue to head into Wenawee County over the next few minutes. Taking a look into Jackson County, again, nothing severe at this time, but I am showing at least some potential for at least 40 mile per hour wind gusts, if not slightly higher than that, near the Spring Arbor areas, heading towards the south side of Jackson, and eventually towards the Napoleon and Brooklyn areas. We are also seeing a little bit higher winds. Again, nothing severe across southern Jackson County at this time. That is something we are continuing to watch. But it does look like the strongest portion of this storm is now heading east in the Wenawee County. Still remain indoors in northeastern sections. We'll go back to reflectivity here. And we'll go back to Northern Indiana radar. Do continue to remain inside across northeastern portions of Hillsdale County, preferably away from windows in an interior room. For the next little while, let the storm get out of here. It does look like we have another cell near heading into the Litchfield, Allen, and Jonesville areas, but this is likely not severe at this time. Likely not producing much more than maybe some heavier rainfall and gusty winds. Try and get lightning back here. Not seeing much lightning activity. Let's go with the plus maybe. Still showing some lightning activity with this storm as well. So again, just course of regret, remain inside, preferably in an interior room away from windows for the next 6 minutes across northeastern Hillsdale County. This will begin to head out into Wenawee County over the next several minutes. And we are also continuing to watch southern Jackson County. Again, nothing severe with this activity at this time, but likely some heavy rainfall and lightning, if not some gustier winds. Not severe at this time, but we are watching it closely. Okay, that is for That's okay. That's south of us. Okay. We are also continuing to watch this cell that continues to flare up across southwestern portions of Ionia County, near the Clarksville area towards the Saranac area. We are watching this cell that is beginning to flare up as well. No signs of anything severe at this juncture with this storm, but likely some heavier rainfall. At the very least, potentially some lightning activity as well. We will continue to watch this storm over the next little while, see what it does. But our primary focus continues to be for the next few minutes this severe thunderstorm warning across far northeastern portions of Hillsdale County. But as I was just showing you, the strongest part of this storm is likely now pushing in the Wenaway County outside of our coverage area. I will reiterate that if anyone in southeastern Calhoun, southwestern Jackson, and northern Hillsdale counties, if you do happen to have any damage reports from this storm, please do feel free to let us know. You can do that on our you can do that on social media or also on our website. Our website again for storm reports is www.westmichiganweather.net/report. Repeating, that is www.westmichiganweather.net/report. That is where you can submit any storm or damage reports that you may have, but please do so safely. Alright. And see what the National Weather Service is doing. I would imagine they're going to let this warning expire in the next couple of minutes as the storm continues to push away. The strongest portion anyway in the Wenaway County. We do have other storms ongoing towards the state line, like in the Edwardsburg area. That's in Cass County. Pretty much along the US 12 corridor, we do have some other showers and storms ongoing. Nothing severe with the activity at this particular activity at this time, but definitely some heavier rainfall, probably some lightning, and maybe some localized spots of gusty winds. And we're not seeing anything, perhaps a little bit of gustier winds. That's over in northern Indiana, but we are watching that as that is near the state line. Nothing terrible at this time, but something we are watching for over the next little while. Okay, we do have a new special weather statement that is coming in for far southeastern portions of Jackson County. This is pretty much for the Brooklyn and Norvell areas. This is a special weather statement that is in effect for the potential of 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And this goes until 2:30 p.m. At 1:56 p.m., Doppler radar is tracking a strong thunderstorm near Brooklyn, or 9 miles southwest of the Manchester area, moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour. I will go ahead and go back over to the airport radar out of southwest Wayne County. That is the Detroit Metro Airport radar. And that's doing a bit better job of showing us what's going on at the lower levels in terms of wind. Let's go over to velocity. And I do agree with that special weather statement. It is showing around 40 to potentially 50 mile per hour wind gusts around 1,000 feet up. So if you're in the Brooklyn area over towards the Heights, the Sunset Beach area, you are likely seeing some gustier winds. Same goes especially towards the Napoleon area and towards Norvell over the next few minutes. Probably at least gusts to around 30 to 40 miles per hour in this section, with the best potential for 50 mile per hour gusts towards the Brooklyn area and points south. So if you live like around Wampler's Lake Road, that is where we're seeing some signs of gustier winds to around 50 miles per hour. Same goes from the Dougherty Road area. If you're near the Shamrock Airport, we are seeing some signs of gustier winds. And towards the DeSales Center, towards the Camp of the Hills areas, the Camp of the Hills area, we are watching some stronger winds will be in your area over the next few minutes. And towards the Greenbrier Golf Course, stronger winds will be moving in over the next few minutes, so definitely a good idea to get indoors, preferably in a sturdy structure over the next few minutes. And it does look like damaging wind potential for those of you that may be watching in northern Wenaway County. That is outside of our coverage area, but we are seeing some potential damaging wind gusts near the Onstead area. Radar is indicating 60 to at least 65 if a new scan comes in, backs that off a little bit, but still 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible in northern Wenaway County, and we are seeing signs of a 50 mile per hour wind gusts in far southeastern Jackson County, now heading east of the Brooklyn area towards the Heights, eventually the Oakshade Park area that is near the state line, the county line, excuse me. And also towards the Norvell area, heading towards the Watkins Lake State Park area over the next few minutes. Potential for 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. Let's go back to reflectivity. And let's go back to northern Indiana radar. They are letting the severe thunderstorm warning for Hillsdale County. That has been allowed to expire. That storm has cleared. The worst of the storm is now clearing Hillsdale County into Wenaway County. Still remain inside with lightning potential across northern sections of Hillsdale County. Still a little bit of rain ongoing, but the severe threat, at least for this particular storm, is done in northeastern Hillsdale County. We'll stick around for a few more minutes to see what this activity in far southeastern Jackson County does. Again, if you're near the Brooklyn area towards the Oakshade Park area and Norvell area, we are watching for the potential of wind gusts up to around 50 miles per hour over the next few minutes. And again, if you have any storm reports, particularly in portions of Calhoun, Jackson, and Hillsdale counties, if you do have any storm or damage reports to pass along to us, please feel free to pass those along to us. You can do that on our social media pages. You can find us at West Michigan Weather on most major social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and whatnot. You can find them on most of those. But we also have a website to where you can submit your reports. Once again, that is www.westmichiganweather.net/report. Repeating, that is westmichiganweather.net/report. And you can submit those reports there, and we will pass those along to the National Weather Service if you indicate to do so on the form there. But taking one more look at the velocity on this storm in the far southeastern Jackson County, we are continuing to show signs of higher winds, mainly east of the Brooklyn area now, southeast. Winds are starting to get up there. In far southeastern Jackson County, we are now indicating 50 to 55 miles per hour. Last scan, we were showing approaching 60. This is around 1,000 feet up, so not all of this is necessarily reaching the ground, but definitely at least 40 to probably 50 mile per hour gusts, likely near the Sunset Beach area and the Heights community, over towards pretty much along the M124 corridor or Wamplers Lake Road, excuse me. Near the Wamplers Lake Road area, that is where we're seeing some signs of gustier winds to at least potentially 50 miles per hour. Up towards the Norvell area, towards the Watkins Lake State Park area, likely 30 to 40 mile per hour winds will be moving in your area over the next few minutes, so do continue to be indoors in a sturdy structure. This is outside of our coverage area, but the National Weather Service in Detroit is opting to go with a severe thunderstorm warning for southern sections of Washtenaw County now, as this storm out of southeastern Jackson County pushes in over the next few minutes. They are opting to go with a severe thunderstorm warning for 60 mile per hour wind gusts into southern Washtenaw County. So we're going to go ahead and take a general reset across the entire area real quick. Our strong thunderstorm in southeastern Jackson County will be pushing out of the area over the next few minutes into Washtenaw County and southeast lower. We are watching some additional cells towards the state line, along with a cell that's that's been formed over now southern portions of Ionia County, and we are watching the cell that's beginning to try and form in Gratiot County near the Newark, North Star, and Ithaca areas. We are watching a shower that is forming that may strengthen into a storm over the next little while. Just something to be aware of across portions of Gratiot County, again the Newark, North Star, and Ithaca areas over the next few minutes. Other than that, we do not see any other signs of anything becoming severe at this time. Again, we are just watching our southeastern Jackson County cell over the next few minutes as it will push into southern Washtenaw County outside of our coverage area, but some signs of strong gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour in southeastern Jackson County near the Brooklyn, Oakshade, and Park and Norvell areas. With Napoleon, you are just outside of it. But if nothing else, outside of the gusty winds, some very, very heavy rainfall, and lightning, and maybe some smaller hail as well. We'll take one last look at the airport radar. Again, this is in southwest Wayne County. This is for the DTW, Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport. They have a radar there that helps provide lower level scans across portions of far southeast lower Michigan. We'll go to our velocity product, just see what that's showing. And that is continuing to show stronger winds southeast of the Brooklyn area, heading into the Oakshade Park area over the next several minutes. It is now passing east of the Sunset Beach in the Heights neighborhoods. It is over the Camp over the Hills and heading towards the Greenbrier Golf Course over the next few minutes. Pretty much along the M124 corridor or Wamplers Lake Road. That is where we're continuing to see signs of strong winds up to around 50 miles per hour. In fact, we are showing just under 1,000 feet up. Some pixels heading towards the 58 mile per hour threshold. That is severe, but as that is around 1,000 feet up, we will assume a gust to around 50 miles per hour or reaching the surface. However, the National Weather Service in Detroit, this is outside of our coverage area, but did issue a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Washtenaw County as that storm starts to move in there over the next few minutes. So again, for far southeastern Jackson County, continue to remain inside over the next 22 minutes, according to the statement, but I figure do remain inside just due to, if anything else, because of the rain and lightning threat, but also the gusty wind potential that will be pushing out of the county over the next few minutes and into Washtenaw County. Let's go back to reflectivity. And so, again, our strongest storm we are watching now is on the far southeastern fringe of our coverage area in southeastern Jackson County, far southeastern Jackson County. That will be pushing out into Lenawee and Washtenaw counties over the next few minutes. We are monitoring additional cells that are starting to fire across portions of Ionia and Gratiot counties. Nothing severe of that activity at this time, but something we will be monitoring throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. Okay. Ooh. Again, if you're still with us here, if you do have any damage reports, once again, to pass along, that is, you can submit those to us here. Let us know on our social media platforms or on our website once again. That is www.westmichiganweather.net/report. That is www.westmichiganweather.net/report. That is where you can submit those reports to us. And And also, feel free to follow us on our social media platforms, and so you can get notified of future weather updates, including when we go live. On our YouTube channel, you can subscribe, and that is where. And when you do subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell, and that is how you get notified when we go live during future severe weather events. And also, feel free to follow us on Twitch, which we do have. So if you're on Twitch, you can follow us over there too, and that is where you can watch us as well. We just recently launched that. So again, we're just hanging out for a few more minutes longer. Let this storm in southeastern Jackson County get out of the area, just in case of the gustier winds now east of the Brooklyn area. And that will be heading into Washtenaw County over the next few minutes. We'll go ahead and back over to the airport radar, hit the velocity. And again, our strongest winds north of the Oakshade Park area will be heading out of Jackson County and into southwestern Washtenaw County near the Manchester Township area over the next few minutes. We continue to show signs of around 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts that will be pushing into the county over the next few minutes. This is according to the airport radar in southwest Wayne County. Okay, so with that beginning to push out of the county of Jackson County now over the next few minutes, we'll go with one more reset, and then we'll go ahead and hop off this particular live stream, take a breather, and we'll continue. Of course, we'll continue to monitor things behind the scenes in case anything else does try to go severe on us. It does look like the Storm Prediction Center is now issuing a mesoscale discussion for the area. We'll go ahead and get that pulled up here over the next few minutes, so just bear with me here. This is for far southern. Let me turn some of this other stuff off real quickly, just to kind of clean things up a bit. There we go. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a mesoscale discussion. This appears to be for far southern Michigan, mainly south of the I-94 corridor. And this is for the potential of storms with localized damaging winds are possible this afternoon. That has been ongoing, particularly south of the I-94 corridor. Storms with potentially localized damaging wind gusts. And again, the thing really limiting a more widespread severe threat is the weak, deep layer shear. That is really preventing these storms from really ramping up and producing more widespread severe weather. But we are continuing to watch for the potential of isolated damaging wind gusts as well. And they do not expect to issue a severe thunderstorm watch of these storms. Probability of watch issuance is only 5%. Meaning we're not expecting to see a severe thunderstorm watch or anything like that with this activity, just because the nature of the severe weather will just be too isolated. Again, with the weak shear in place, that's really preventing these storms from sustaining themselves too long. But as they collapse, but as they begin to weaken, the rain cool air pushes down rapidly, and that's how you get your damaging wind gusts in isolated areas. So go ahead and turn that off. Put the warnings back on here. And again, taking one last reset before we hop off the stream for right now. You see our strong to severe thunderstorms with a special weather statement for strong thunderstorms in southeast Jackson County. That will be pushing out of the area and into Washtenaw County over the next few minutes. That is outside of our coverage area. Heading toward, we do have other storms ongoing near the state line, and also some activity flaring up east of the Grand Rapids area, east of 131, across portions of Berry, Ionia, and Gratiot counties, and potentially into Eaton County as well. We are seeing some early signs of potential development there. Again, nothing severe of this new activity at this time. Likely just some heavy rain, possibly some lightning as well, but we will be monitoring this activity as well in case it does attempt to get a little bit on the stronger side. Again, so at this time, we are going to begin to wrap up this particular stream. Again, if you have any damage reports, storm reports, or anything like that to pass along, please do feel free to pass those along to us. You can again do that on our social media. We will be monitoring those platforms, and we could also do so on our website. And the link to do that is www.westmichiganweather.net/report. Again, that is www.westmichiganweather.net. And I will also mention that if you wish to support our efforts here at West Michigan Weather, if you want to help support not only the chasing operations but also streaming operations and other operations related to West Michigan Weather, you can do that as well. We do have a link on our website to where you can donate. That is www.westmichiganweather.net/donate. Again, that is www.westmichiganweather.net/donate. That is fully optional. We will never require donations for this life-saving weather information, but if it is something you want to optionally do to help support our operations here at West Michigan Weather, we do welcome that. Again, that is www.westmichiganweather.net/donate. Alright, so again, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this stream here. We are continuing to monitor things behind the scenes, and we'll be back with you guys live if any new severe thunderstorm warnings do happen to get issued. In the meantime, Jacob Melton live here with West Michigan Weather. Please remain weather aware this afternoon and evening. If you hear thunder war, get indoors. But we'll be back with you live here if any new warnings are issued. In the meantime, this is Jacob Melton for West Michigan Weather signing off. Have a great rest of your afternoon and into the evening as well.